I had no sound. There we go. All of what I said has just gone. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're good. Um, we're fine. But now I wasted a whole lot of minutes, which means I can't tell you everything I just said. So I'm going to see if I could speed it up. Basically, we're practicing Ashtanga yoga today. I was trained tradition, but I was trained in the short form of the tradition. There's a longer form with more intermediate to advanced postures. And today I haven't brushed up on my Ashtanga, although I love the tradition and the practice. So what I'm going to do is just go with what is in my memory because it's been a few months since I've taught it, and then or practiced it. And then after that, I will be developing and refining this practice so that I can learn more postures and develop my practice for me and for you, essentially. So now that I've spent all that time talking, what we're going to do is a little bit different. I'm going to face the altar, so I have a different setup today because of this different practice. I thought I set it up properly. Sorry for the delay, everybody. I really actually took extra time today to set up, and then I'm finding that it wasn't just right. So I want to make sure that I have enough room for my arms. So make sure you have enough room for your arms to take a nice long span. And we'll get started. Because of all this delay, we're going to get started at the top of the mat, standing tall with palms together, thumbs to the heart center. And the big toes are touching. The heels are apart. And this will be shorter than usual. I think I'm going to expand this practice to 1 hour because that is where the short form, how the short form was planned out. Okay. So, good morning, Randy and Miriam. Today is Ashtanga Yoga. It's going to be a little bit more intense. There's going to be sun salutations, things like that. And let's get started because I am starting late, even though I was prepared. So let's take a nice clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, standing nice and tall as you are, palms together, thumbs to the heart, I'm going to chant Shiva mantra. You can join me if you know it. Or just listen, remembering the meaning. I bow to the presence of the divine within, our true and highest teacher, that lives in and around us as being, consciousness, and bliss. It is ever present and radiates peace, lighting the way to transformation. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Next inhale, let's begin our Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. Deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, fog out through the mouth. Mouth stays open, fog in. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. Connect to this breath. This breath is so important for this practice in particular. It is a very dynamic practice. Make sure you have the diaphragm working here. You can feel that through movement in the belly. And let's begin Surya Namaskara, letter Ka, Sun Salutation A. This will be part of our warm-up. So inhale, reach the arms upwards. And let's exhale and just take a side bend to the right today, just for our warm-ups before Sun Salutation. So rise back up to center, and then exhale, take a bend to the left. Now just go through this a few times. So this practice, as you keep bending, I'll just give you a little bit of more information. This practice is essentially the same every time, except something that's changing is you in your development through the postures. So while the posture sequence are the same, it becomes not like a boring mechanical situation. If it does, then there's a better way to do it, and that is to really invest yourself in this. We'll take a couple more here. And watch yourself develop, and this can become a meditative practice because you know what's next. That's why it's so special. So we'll go ahead and take one more to the left. Once you find middle, rise all the way up, lifting into a little bit of a back bend, and then exhale, fold forward. And so we'll release here and rest. But of course, you know, each practice, if somebody else is going through it, or even if you're doing this on your own, it becomes, there is always a little space for creativity, especially as we're doing a short form and not the full practice. We can insert and kind of play around with some of the things. So let's take another deep breath here as you just let the head go. And then inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. So this is Ardha Uttanasana, looking forward, squeezing shoulders back. Exhale, lower, bring the hands down. Float back to a plank posture, top of the push-up. You can take knees down for support if needed. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, bend the elbows only. Keep the spine straight. Inhale, find a back bend, tops of the feet to the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you'd like to find a child's posture first time around, feel free, remembering that's always available to you. So we're going to be here for 4 breaths. It's going to be a 5 breath total. Keep doing your thing. I've got to do something here. All right. Now we'll look forward, bend the knees, float the feet forward, top the mat. So this is dynamic. You might jump the feet up and then take them right to the top. Come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Samastitihi. Now we're going to go through this a little bit more quickly at the pace that it's meant to be practiced. Next, inhale, reach the arms up. Engage the thighs. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway, lengthen. Exhale, this is a vinyasa here, so palms come down, float back, and then lower, all in the same exhale. Remember, you don't have to jump feet back. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, a few breaths here. Just strengthening the back. Really feel that. Shoulder blades tucking in. Now we're going to take 2 more of these without me speaking. So if you need a little guidance, you can look forward, and then whenever you're ready, let's begin. Kind of in that waiting period. I feel like it's more like a resting period in downward facing dog, or again, you can make that into your child's posture. And that's for about 5 breaths. You can increase or decrease that. And once you finish this cycle, we'll be meeting in Samastiti. He's standing tall, palms together. And from here, we'll be moving into Sun Salutation letter B, Surya Namaskara Ka. So big toes touching, heels apart. And the next exhale, bring the weight to the heels and then bend the knees. Keep the heart lifted. Send the arms down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe looking up slightly. Pull the pelvis in. Next exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward over the legs. Come up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, palms down, float back. Another vinyasa here. And then this time we're inserting a downward facing dog. Warrior A. So from downward facing dog, step the right foot between the hands, left heel presses down. Inhale, rise. First time we're going slower. Second time, it'll be with the breath. Hold here, pull the pelvis in, lift the heart up. And then we'll exhale, hands down, take another vinyasa, which you could always skip, or you could always add intensity to those. Adding a push-up, reversing a push-up, lots of things to do. And then from downward facing dog, left foot between hands, right heel down. Rise up. Just establish the posture first, because when we come back here, it'll be just for an inhale. So we want to remember, give the body memory. And exhale, bring the hands down, lift the foot, step it back, lower. And here we rest, 5 breaths. And hips nice and high, watching how this is changing. We'll look forward, float the feet forward, big toes touch, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, rise up, Utkatasana, fierce posture. And then we'll exhale, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. It's like a perfect revolution. So we start one way and we close the same way, reversing it. So let's begin again. This time it'll go a little quicker. Next, exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over straight legs. Gaze past the knees, focusless gaze. Come up halfway, lengthen, look forward. Exhale, float back, hands down. Float back, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot between the hands, left heel down. All in the same exhale. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down, lift the foot, step it back, lower. You can even keep that foot lifted. Find a back bend for more intensity, you know. Downward facing dog, left foot between hands, right heel down, rise up. Exhale, hands down, step the left foot back or hover it, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, rest. This is just generally a sweatier practice than the ones we're accustomed to that we've been practicing online together. Let's look forward, float forward. Big toes together, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, rise. Exhale, samastitihi. Now you have an option. Not to walk away from the mat, but to either stand tall in samastitihi and breathe, or to take one full cycle without my verbal guidance. Okay? So whatever it is, focusing either way. meeting in Samastitihi. Whether you stayed here or moved, besides the point, as long as you were just in your posture, breathing deeply, focusing the mind. So now we're starting our standing posture. So there's a few cycles of sun salutation in this practice, letter A, letter B. Now Uttita Trikonasana. So we step the right foot to the back of the mat and then bring the arms to a T. That's why I'm facing what is usually the back of my mat so that I could still see you. Make sure you have blocks close by if needed. Pivot the feet to the right. Okay, legs stay straight. Reach out with the right arm. Lower the right hand down to the leg. Keep the hand to the inside of the leg and not on top of it. Lift the left arm upwards. Turn the head to look past the left fingertips and feel this left arm going really far back to stretch the chest here. Maybe bring the hand to a block, preferably to the outside of the leg. Deeper expression would be to grasp the big toe with the peace fingers. Dig the left shoulder blade into the back. And next exhale, look down at the right foot. Inhale, rise up to standing, arms to a T. Exhale, pivot the feet to the back of the mat. Reach out with the left hand, lower it down to the leg. Inhale the right arm up. So I mentioned that it's been a while since I've taught this class, since December. And I already recognize that I've missed a couple postures, but that's okay because today's class is going to be a little shorter than usual for this practice, which I'm going to probably extend to an hour. Thursday's Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, look down at the left foot. Inhale, rise. And then we'll go ahead and come back to arms to a T here. Bring hands to the hips and then pivot to face the back of the mat. So we're going to come into a revolving triangle posture. Now from here, the feet are facing the back of the mat, toes all facing same direction, both feet. Block close by if needed. Next inhale, lift the left arm up, look upwards. Exhale, left hand down to the block, to the mat. You can have fingertips down. Press into the right hip with that right hand to kind of encourage. Right hip going back, heart twisting to the right. And then pick up the right arm if it feels right. If this is already a little too much and challenging the breath, stay here so long as you can breathe deeply. Right? Other alternatives are keep the heart down until you can get this part. If you've got that right arm lifted, dig the shoulder blade in. Maybe look up past the right hand. One more breath. Exhale, lower the right hand, rise up to a T, and then we'll switch hands to hips, pivot to face the front of the mat, feet facing same direction. They're parallel to each other. Inhale, the right arm up. Exhale, right fingertips down. It helps to not have too much distance between the feet here. Then shift that left hip, take it back with the left hand. Turn the head to the left. Maybe this is good. Maybe you extend the left arm. Maybe you look up past the left fingertips, past the left thumb. You know, every gaze, if you're gazing past the thumb or the fingers or the toes, they all have their own names actually in Sanskrit. I don't know them, but I find that to be fascinating. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, rise up to standing, arms to a T, and then we reset and come to the top of the mat into Samastitihi. Uttita Parshvottanasana, extended side angle posture. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Bring the arms to a T, wide stance. Pivot the feet to the right. Lunge into the right knee. Bring the forearm to the thigh. Inhale the left arm up and over. Now this posture leads into different binds and balancing postures. So as we continue, if all goes well, we'll be learning those. You can have the hand to the outside of the right foot on the block or on the mat, if that's better to go a little deeper. If you're creating tension in the left side of the neck, head can stay neutral or really focus on bringing that shoulder down. Maybe looking up past the left hand. And then we'll inhale, rise up to standing, arms to a T. Exhale, pivot to the left. Lunge into the left knee. No. That's a funny note. Funny comment. Forearm to thigh, right arm up and over. Same posture, left side. So as you see, this practice, it involves right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side. And we'll inhale, rise up to standing, arms to a T. Parivrita Parshvakonasana, revolving side angle posture. Pivot to face the back of the mat. Lunge into the right knee, palms together. And then we hook this left elbow outside the right thigh. So we have options. We can lift the back heel. We can bring the left knee down, focusing on balance and spinal rotation. Bring the fingertips to look inwards, facing the chest, looking past the right elbow. Push the arm and the leg into each other as front limbs. Next inhale, rise up. Exhale, pivot to the front of the mat, palms together, left knee lunging. And then exhale, right elbow outside the left knee. Twist. Long spine, it's just turning like you're twisting a towel. Looking past the left elbow, fingertips in towards the chest. Draw the left shoulder blade into the back. I'm emphasizing those because I'm realizing how really effective that motion is. Let's take another breath or two. And we'll inhale, rise up to standing, arms to a T. Exhale, Samastitihi, top of the mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. We'll go through at least a couple, 2 out of the 3 that we usually practice. Arms, step the right foot to the back of the mat, arms to a T. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, find a back bend. Look up. Exhale, fold forward, bring the hands down. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend the elbows to lower, and then walk the hands back a step, maybe 2 steps, so that they line up with the feet. Turn the toes to face in, and then work the crown of the head down towards the mat, but it may not go there, and that's fine. It's not about getting there. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise up to standing, arms to a T. Letter C, hands behind, interlace the fingers. Squeeze the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, fold forward. And we'll inhale, rise up. Arms to a T. Exhale, hands to hips. Find a back bend once again. Exhale, fold. This time, letter D. Grasp the big toes with the peace fingers. Come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbows to fold. And we'll inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, hands to hips. Bend the knees. That helps sometimes to rise up with a flat back. Arms to a T. Exhale, top of the mat, Samastitihi. Okay. Uttita. I'm sorry, we're going into Parshvottanasana, actually. This is extended See, I told you I'd mess up. Intense back stretch, or intense side stretch. There we go. Arms to a T. And then we'll bring hands behind. It just takes some getting used to it again to get everything close enough. Now we're going to pivot to face the back of the mat and let the feet once again be parallel to each other, and they're not too far from each other. Okay, so next inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, fold. And we'll come halfway down, set the right hip back, left hip forward. We want to level the hips. And then we're folding, reaching heart towards the foot. Kind of like nose towards the toes, or nose towards the front of the mat, or the short side of the mat that you're facing. The Parshvottanasana. And inhale, rise. Keep the arms just like this. So we're holding opposite elbows. You can also come into reverse prayer with the hands. So see if you want to go there. And then we are now facing front of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold halfway to start. Set the left hip back, right hip forward this time. All these little things, very important, these little adjustments, little changes to where the limbs are hinging and things like that. We want to really pay attention. And we might go a little further, keeping the back fairly straight, right? So refraining from any rounding here. And inhale, rise. We'll release the arms, especially if you were in that reverse prayer. Move the wrists. Step to the top of the mat. Take a couple breaths here to adjust. Okay, we're going to go into a balancing posture. Utthita Hasta Pada Angustasana. So we've done this before in live stream, some of it. So you might need a wall. If you're going to use a wall, left side of the body towards the mat, just a nice little touch to the wall. We're going to bring hands to hips, or just the right hand to the hip. And then from here, shift weight over to the left leg. Now pull the pelvis in, engage that left thigh, engage that left glute, and then pick up the right knee and hold the right knee with the right hand. A little bit more challenging variation, grasp the big toe with the peace fingers, and then take that leg forward. But keep the shoulder back in its socket. You want to feel like the heart is going forward, but not, it's just because in relation to the belly is really drawing in here. Then we'll exhale, take the leg out to the right. Even with the knee bent, holding the knee, same thing. I'm going to bring the leg back to center, hands around the knee, lift the knee, set the head down, and then inhale, lift the trunk, take the arms up, extend the leg forward, point the foot, spread the toes, right leg. Fully engaged leg. Exhale, lower the foot. Because we don't have a lot of time, we're holding this for less time, so we're going to switch with the other side, but otherwise it would have been a little bit more than that. So hands to hips. Shift direction if you are on the wall. Take the weight over to the right leg, engage the thigh, engage the glute, lift the left knee, holding left knee or holding the big toe. Leg does not have to be straight to be here. Make sure not to tense up other parts of the body. It's going to kind of just transfer tension. We don't want to do that. I'm going to let these things go. Take the leg to the left. Bring the leg to center. Exhale, leg up, head down. Inhale, trunk up, arms up, leg up, point the foot, spread the toes. Even if your foot is just a couple inches above the floor, stick with it. And then exhale, release, lower. Shake things out, especially if you built up any tension, anything like that. Okay, so we're at the top of the mat. Again, we're taking a lot of things out of this practice today. So let's inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs, gaze past the knees. Inhale, halfway lengthen, look forward. Exhale, another vinyasa here. Back bend. Downward facing dog. Now we're going to transition to seated. So one way to get there is to bend the knees, jump the feet in the air, cross the ankles, and then set them down and come to seated. So here's just a quick little demonstration. And then legs extend out in front. Toes pulled back, palms down, sitting upright, shoulders back and down. See if there's any tension you can release. Felt a lot going on in my neck, probably because I forgot the name of a posture. Okay, so from here, Paschimottanasana, letter A. This here is Dandasana, and this is our foundation for our seated postures, like Samastitihi for standing. Next, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, grasp the big toes with the peace fingers. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bend the elbows to lower. And that might not go, as low as you think the body can go, and that's okay. Remembering it's not about how far we are in the posture, it's about being present, breathing, being where we are and being okay with it. Letter B, lift the heart, take the hands around the feet, thumbs to the big toes. Find length on the inhale, bend the elbows on the exhale. And if you're really feeling stuck in this posture, and any posture for that matter, you can inhale and lift, and then exhale, bend the elbows to come back in. And then just kind of do that, feel the flowingness in that. And it signals to the body that it's okay to let go. And we will inhale, rise, and take a back bend. So planting the hands, planting the feet. Fingers face forward. Inhale, lift the hips up into a table, reverse table. Squeezing shoulders back. People often don't take the hips high here because they think that here is good, this is where they can be. But I think if you really just power the glutes, you can get the hips up higher. And then exhale, lower the hips down. Now we're going to take a variation today, a way that I have made this into an even shorter form. We're going to find a boat posture here. So go ahead and lift the legs, lift the arms. I promise next week we'll get more traditional and do the other variation of this whole sequence. And then exhale, bring the feet down. And from here, let's extend the left leg forward. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. We're going to go into Janu Shirshasana, head to knee posture. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Take hands to the legs, somewhere where you can keep spine long. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bend the elbows to fold. And we want to gaze past the left toes. Focusless gaze. Now if the gaze is unfocused, you can see the nose. Right, you can see the tip of the nose. And if not, pick up the eyes a little bit and look forward. One more breath. And we'll inhale, rise. Exhale, switch legs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbows to fold. Breathing deeply without rounding the spine here. Okay, so now we're going to insert a vinyasa, which we skipped the first one. Let's inhale. Actually, take 2 more breaths. And we'll inhale, rise. Now, another boat pose. Arms and legs lift, but then we turn this into a vinyasa. So we cross the ankles, set the outer edges of the feet down, push the trunk through the legs, palms down, unwind the legs. You can jump them back or go into whatever way you can to find your plank. Lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then back to seated into Dandasana, staff posture. Marichyasana, letter C. Plant the right foot down. Inhale, reach arms up. Right arm up, excuse me. Set the right hand down behind, fingers face back. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left elbow outside the knee. Get nice and tall. And then twist, turn. Now pull the low belly in towards the spine and pull up on the pelvic floor. Those are real important parts of this practice. They're emphasized in this tradition. And inhale, center. Exhale, switch legs. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand down, fingers face back. Inhale, right arm up, look up. Exhale, right elbow outside the left knee. Get tall and then turn. Flex the right foot. Draw the low belly in. Pull up on the pelvic floor. And inhale, center. So another vinyasa here. Arms and legs lift. Cross the ankles. You can skip this if you want, but push yourself if you feel like you can breathe. And then find your way to seated once again. Okay, so again, I'm going to skip a few things. Some of my favorite parts. Oh, makes me feel like we should add at least one in. So what we're going to do is take a boat pose. So this is the third and final boat pose. We're going to hold this one. Lift the legs. Maybe they're bent, maybe they're straight. Keep the spine as long as you can. Cross the ankles, set the feet down, plant the palms next to the hips, press into the palms, straighten the arms, lift the ankles, lift the bottom. And then exhale, lower. And we're just doing one of those today. Come all the way down to the back. Once you're on the back, bring the knees into the chest. Nice big squeeze. Maybe some rocking a little bit side to side. We will find a bridge posture, Setu Bandhasana. Plant the feet. Walk the shoulders back. Lift the hips. Squeeze the shoulders back even more, walking them back. And then maybe interlacing fingers under hips with arms straight. See if you can keep the arms straight. If that's really tough and tight for you, bring elbows down and forearms up like this. Squeeze the glutes a little bit more. Draw the knees towards each other. Release the arms, exhale, lower the hips. Take a breath in and out. second set, lift the hips. Let the belly move with the breath so we know the diaphragm's still doing its work. Releasing, and we have a third set, so let that exhale out through the mouth, and then when you're ready, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Knees in, so you can rock up to seated. Take the legs out in front. Take the arms up. Exhale, fold. Hands can go around the feet. Find that length. Exhale, fold. We're going to take 10 breaths. Filling up on inhale, letting go on exhale. The letting go is so vital. So many different ways, for so many different reasons. See if you can look past the toes, if the trunk isn't all the way down to the legs. And we'll inhale, rise up, come down to the back once again. So this practice also involves inversions, which we will not do today, but we will insert a hip opener. So once you're down, bring the right foot on top of the left thigh, draw the knee away, flex the right foot, and then pull the left leg in. Now as you're here, keep squeezing the shoulder blades back, and then move the head left and right a few times. Once you feel like the neck has loosened up, then you can keep the head neutral and keep drawing this leg in to feel this right hip stretch. So this is, some people call it thread the needle, reclining, or reclining pigeon posture. It's a nice hip opener. And relax the muscles in the face, relax the eyes. And feel the eyes soften, so that even as the eyes are closed, you can feel that as if you're blurring the vision with the eyes open, that relaxed eye. And if you need to open the eyes and then blur the vision, maintain that, and then just close the eyelids. It'll help prevent eye strain, especially if you are on the computer a lot, or on your phone a lot, or on television a lot. You want to relax the eyes. Prevent eye strain, prevent headache, prevent tension, which all that is. Bring the left foot down, switch legs. Move the head back and forth again if that felt good earlier, as you're kind of holding those shoulders and shoulder blades back. And then focusing on the hip. Release the leg. Bring the knees in. Take the knees to the right, arms to a T. Simple spinal twist. Turn the head to the left. Just keep this left shoulder blade down. Let the knees lower with every exhalation. And we'll bring the knees back to center. You might want to scooch them to the right just a bit. Knees back in and then over to the left. Head turns to the right, right shoulder blade working down. And then letting this top leg especially relax with every exhalation. I have scoliosis, so I find twists to be really hard for me. And so just letting the sense of being relaxed is so important. So mind telling body, it's okay. You can let go. And then inhale, bring the knees to center. Give the knees a big squeeze and set up Shavasana at this time. So let the limbs go. Find your way to lying down completely, totally relaxing. Releasing arms, releasing legs. Releasing the ears, letting go of even sound, even as you hear my voice, let it just kind of become the background. Let the fingers curl slightly, total relaxed. Relax the jaw. Notice the eyes again. Maybe open the eyes gently, blur the vision, keep it blurred, gently close the eyelids. Being here and resting. And slowly become aware again of this body lying on the floor. Maybe look at the body from above. And then bring that view right back in so that you can now experience the body again, taking some deep breaths, moving the hands, moving the feet. Maybe wiggle fingers, toes, take the arms behind, find length. Bring the knees in, arms around the knees. And some rocking side to side. Finding your way up to seated when you're ready. Once you're in seated, maybe a couple circles with the head. And then head is neutral, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. We will just chant today, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy, healthy, and free. At peace. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. And thank you. Have a beautiful day. Next time I won't start with my microphone off, which delayed me a little bit. And again, I want to make this into a 1-hour practice so that I could get all of the postures in that I was taught. And then I have time to also experiment and bring in other postures that I wasn't taught, but I want to understand myself and bring into this traditional practice. And so if you have any questions about this, I know that I didn't get to explain this in the beginning because I was cut off with my mic. If you have questions, let me know. I'll just give you more information, but you're of course free to go about your day at this time. But this practice, if you notice, many of the postures are very similar to the postures that we practice in the yoga that I bring in here. And that is because this is where they come from. It's from this, it began in the early 1900s. I don't remember the date exactly, actually before that, but it became popularized over the years. And so it's really very holistic in terms it gets into almost every part of the body. There's a few that I think I like to put in there to open up, like hips. I don't feel like there's a lot of hip openers in this practice, but nothing for the neck either in particular. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope some people want to continue practicing Ashtanga with me because I do love it. So, all right, that's enough. Thank you. We'll see you soon. I'll just give a little sound here to clear the room up and maybe help you if you want to kind of clear up a little bit more for the day. Maybe, you might use this time for the bowls when they make these sounds as that final moment before you go back to the rest of your day, and it's a good time to set an intention as you continue the day. Oh, good, Miriam. I'm glad that you're excited to practice it. I do love it. If you can probably feel what it's done for your body, and with the little parts that we didn't practice today, you'll feel it even more complete next week when we do it. So thank you for that feedback. All right, take care, everybody.